you tired of struggling to start a campfire or finding the perfect campsite? In this video, we'll reveal the top 10 camping hacks you need to know to take your outdoor adventures to the next level. If you're new to camping, or just looking to upgrade your outdoor skills, these tips and tricks will make a huge difference. From setting up a comfortable campsite to cooking delicious meals in the wilderness, we've got you covered. First up, let's talk about finding the perfect campsite. This can be a daunting task, especially if you're camping in a new area. One hack is to use online mapping tools to scope out the terrain before you arrive. Look for flat areas, access to water, and shelter from the wind. You can also use apps like Google Earth to get a bird's-eye view of the area, which can help you identify potential campsites. Another tip is to arrive early so you can snag the best spot before other campers arrive. Once you've found your campsite, it's time to start setting up. One essential item to bring is a portable camping stove. These stoves are lightweight, compact, and can be fueled by propane or white gas. They're also super easy to use and can be adjusted to control the flame. If you're new to camping stoves, don't worry, they're easy to learn. Just make sure to follow the manufacturer's instructions, and always use caution when handling fire. Another hack is to bring a camping grill, which can be used to cook a variety of meals, from burgers to vegetables. Now let's talk about starting a campfire. This can be a challenge, especially if you're new to camping. One hack is to use dryer lint as a fire starter. This might sound weird, but trust us, it works. Dryer lint is highly flammable and can be used to get your fire going quickly. You can also use other materials like twigs, leaves, and grass. Just make sure to follow any local fire restrictions and always fully extinguish your fire before leaving it unattended. Another tip is to bring a fire starter kit, which usually includes a ferrocerium rod and some tinder. When it comes to building a campfire, there are a few different methods you can use. One popular method is the teepee method, where you arrange your kindling in a teepee shape and then light it. Another method is the log cabin method, where you arrange your kindling in a square shape and then add larger logs to the fire. Both of these methods can be effective and can help you get a strong fire going quickly. In addition to building a campfire, it's also important to think about cooking and food storage. One hack is to use a cooler with ice packs to keep your food fresh. You can also use a camping fridge, which is a portable fridge that runs on batteries or propane. These fridges are perfect for keeping your food and drinks cool and can be a game changer on long camping trips. Another tip is to bring a water filter or a portable water purification system, which can be used to purify water from a stream or lake. We're just getting started, and we've already covered some essential camping hacks. From finding the perfect campsite to starting a campfire and cooking delicious meals, these tips will help you take your outdoor adventures to the next level. We'll be diving deeper into more camping hacks, including some surprising uses for everyday items, and some expert tips for camping in different types of weather. So, let's talk about some of those everyday items that can be repurposed for camping. Because who doesn't love a good multi-tool, right? Well, for example, a straw can be used as a makeshift fishing line, or as a way to drink water from a bottle without having to tip it up, which is super helpful if you're trying to stay hydrated on a long hike. And dental floss, believe it or not, can be used as a clothesline, or even as a way to hang your food from a tree to keep it away from animals. Another really useful item to bring camping is a dryer sheet, which might seem weird, but hear me out. Not only can they be used to keep bugs away, but they can also be used to start a fire, because they're highly flammable. And if you're camping in an area with a lot of mosquitoes, you can even use them to repel them, just by putting one in your pocket or near your campsite. It's also a good idea to bring some silica gel packets, which can be used to dry out wet shoes or clothes, because let's face it, accidents happen, and it's always better to be prepared. Now, when it comes to camping in different types of weather, things can get a little tricky. For example, if you're camping in the rain, it's a good idea to bring a tarp, which can be used to keep your campsite dry, and also to create a makeshift shelter if needed. And if you're camping in really cold weather, it's a good idea to bring a hot water bottle, which can be used to keep your hands and feet warm, and also to warm up your sleeping bag. It's also really important to know how to navigate using a map and compass, because GPS doesn't always work in the wilderness. So, make sure you bring a map and compass with you and know how to use them. It's not that hard once you get the hang of it. And don't forget to bring a first aid kit, which should include things like bandages, antiseptic wipes, and any medications you might need. Camping in the snow can be especially challenging because it's cold and it's easy to get lost. But with the right gear and a little bit of knowledge, it can also be really rewarding. For example, you can use snow to your advantage by building a quinji, which is a type of snow shelter, or by using it to create a makeshift bed, which can be really comfortable. And if you're camping in an area with a lot of wildlife, make sure you know how to store your food properly, because you don't want to attract any unwanted visitors to your campsite. In addition to these tips, it's also a good idea to know how to identify different types of plants and animals, because some of them can be helpful, while others can be harmful. For example, you can use certain types of plants to start a fire, or to create a makeshift shelter, while others can be used for food or medicine. And if you're camping in an area with a lot of bears, make sure you know how to recognize the signs of a bear attack, and what to do if you encounter one. When you're out in the wilderness, it's essential to be prepared for any situation that may arise. That's why learning basic wilderness first aid is crucial. It's not just about treating injuries, but also about preventing them from happening in the first place. For instance, cuts and scrapes can quickly become infected in the outdoors. So make sure you know how to clean and dress wounds properly. Another important aspect of wilderness first aid is learning how to handle allergic reactions. If someone in your group has a severe allergy, it's vital to know what to do in case of an emergency. This includes carrying an EpiPen or other epinephrine injector and knowing how to use it correctly. It's also a good idea to have a plan in place for what to do if someone has a severe allergic reaction, such as having a list of emergency contact numbers and knowing the location of the nearest hospital. Speaking of planning, it's also essential to have a plan for what to do if you get lost in the wilderness. This includes bringing a map and compass and knowing how to use them. It's also a good idea to let someone know your itinerary before you head out, so they can raise an alarm if you don't return on time. And if you do get lost, stay calm and try to find a high point to get your bearings. This can be a ridge, a hill, or even a tree. Just find something that will give you a good view of your surroundings. Another useful hack when it comes to camping is learning how to purify water. This is especially important when you're camping in areas with questionable water sources. There are several ways to purify water, including boiling, using a water filter, or using disinfectant tablets. Boiling is the simplest method, but it can take a while, typically 10-15 minutes for water to reach a rolling boil. Using a water filter or disinfectant tablets is faster and more convenient, but make sure you use them correctly to avoid any health risks. Finally, don't forget to bring a portable stove or camping grill when you're camping. These are great for cooking meals, but they also come in handy when you need to boil water or heat up a meal. And if you're not using a portable stove, make sure you know how to start a fire safely and efficiently. This includes using dry firewood, kindling, and tinder. With a bit of practice, starting a fire can be a breeze. That's all for today's video on outdoor and camping hacks. If you're new to camping or just looking for some tips and tricks to improve your outdoor experience, Be sure to check out our previous videos on this topic. In our next video, we'll be discussing some of the best camping gear for beginners, including must-have items and budget-friendly options. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for more outdoor and camping content.